Hello, ladies. What is going on? Hello, team. I hope you're having a great freaking day. Let me make sure that I am live in everywhere. Let me make sure I am live and I'm good to go. Let me put, let me invite everybody here. Live training. Come on in and learn some juicy things. If you are my client, hey, hello. If you're watching this in our community, right? So I have Facebook here and then I have our live community here. So let me know if you are watching. Say hello in the comments, ladies. And ooh, calm down. Calm down. And let's get this party started. All right, I'm just gonna wait and chat with you guys a little bit before we get started, and then we can jump into the goodies. All right, so I am actually going to be sharing my screen here with you guys, and hopefully it works. Let me tell you guys, this happened to me last week. They made some changes on Facebook on how to go live, and for some reason, like, it took me forever last time to figure it out, and I'm trying my best to make sure that it works. All right, I want to make sure that you guys can see my screen and you guys can obviously engage with me. So if you're here, say hello in the chat, say hello in the comments, and we can start in a few minutes and we can go from there. All right, guys, why am I not being able to share my screen? This is gonna suck if I'm not gonna be able to share my screen. I'm gonna have to redo this. All right, I apologize for the inconvenience. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Ashley. Hello. Say hello to me in the chat if you're here, and if you're my client, if you're watching this on the live as well, say hello in the comments. All right, guys, so bear with me here. Let me see if I can share here, present and share screen. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Please tell me you guys see my screen. This is gonna suck. All right, cool. Can you guys see my screen? Oops, hold on. Here we go. We're here. We got it. We got it. There we go. You guys see my screen? Yeah? Please tell me. All right. Hello, Christina. Hello, Maria. I hope you guys are having a great freaking day. And we're gonna get this party started. So I appreciate you guys coming in and being patient with my little Facebook update. All right. It's literally Facebook that got me like tripping. So hello, Liz Marie. Hello. Okay, Vanessa, hello. Vanessa, I actually put the same link in our community in the app. So we'll be, anytime I do trainings or any valuable stuff in this group, I will be posting it in our community as well. Okay. So make sure that you guys can check that out if you're my client and watching this. Okay. Who's excited? I'm excited about this, guys. I appreciate you coming in. And honestly, this shows to me that you are serious about your health goals, that you are serious and about wanting to better yourself, whether it's physically, right? Maybe you just want to look good. Maybe you just want to have some improvement on your physique. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Or maybe you're somebody right now who's struggling with weight loss, with trying what to do, understanding what to do, how to do it, and all that stuff. And that's okay too. I want you to be here and I want you to succeed. And this is why we are doing this. All right. So on today's training, again, I'm going to jump right into it. Okay. So this is our nutrition, basically our nutrition protocol in our program. Okay. Let me just don't mind the typos. All right, these are our nutrition protocols and what we're gonna go over and why this is super important to do. I have been on my fitness journey, guys, for quite some time, and this was the unlock for a lot of things in my fitness journey, not just my physical changes, because when I started to track my macros, and understanding the why behind it and how it works. And I'm not talking about like the scientific aspect of it. Like we hear all these fancy words like a deficit, protein, carbs, fats, and we get super overwhelmed. I'm talking about like the most basic like parts of it. All right. So, I'm gonna break it down to you, okay? So this is gonna be the unlock for physically. It can also help you with your relationship with food, right? At some point, I had a very unhealthy, toxic relationship with food. Like I would be scared to eat. I would be scared to eat food like frijoles, like rice, beans, things that we grew up eating because in my mind it was like gonna get me fat, right? And it was such a block in my fitness journey because I would use that as an excuse or as a reason like why I'm not getting results. I would be like, "Oh, I just love to eat good. I just love my Spanish food." And like that would put like a block in my results because I believed that I wouldn't be able to eat that stuff if um if I wanted results. All right. So that is not the case. So if you're thinking about that and if you're like, I love to eat, girl, me too. And that's why I'm here because I freaking love to eat. I am a foodie. I'm a foodie. For those who don't know, when I was on my building phase, I literally, I literally was eating more than my husband. Okay. And he's a big dude. All right. I was eating more than him. So I wanted to share that you guys can eat good food, you can enjoy it and maximize your results, but you have to learn the basics. And this is going to really, really help you understand that and understand how it works. And I'm going to give you some tips and tricks. Okay. So if you're just joining, make sure you say hello in the chat and let's get started. Okay. So I am going to say this. All right. I like an interactive live. I like to chat. Please don't be shy. We're in a computer. I'm not going to go and freaking tackle you or anything like that. If anything, this allows me to get to know you a little bit better, to know what you like, to know what what you need help with. And please don't be a stranger. If you're in this group, I want you to interact. I want you to ask questions. That's why you're here. I said this on my last two trainings, and I'm gonna say it again. Guys, I get like around 10 requests to join this group like every other day, and I don't accept everybody. The reason why I don't accept everybody is because I want to know that you really want this. And if you can't even tell me what your goal is, then what are we doing here? All right. So let's make sure that we interact. Please don't be shy. I'm here. I'm a human. If you have questions, um, drop them in the comments. Okay. So I'm gonna go through the presentation really quickly first, and then feel free to type in the comments your questions, and then we can go from there. All right, cool. So this is the importance of why we need to eat towards our goal. And you're like, well, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm eating healthy. Yeah, but that's not specific enough. All right. So eating towards your goal is different than just eating healthy, which is a training that we had last week. If you haven't watched it, go ahead. It's in the community. You can watch it. But more importantly, why we track macros, right? Why we track macros, how it can help us get better results and eat the foods that we love, and also the importance of how it can help you in other areas of your life. So I'm going to break down a couple of the benefits of it. Okay. Number one, not everybody here is the same. The calories that Michelle needs to lose 20 pounds are going to be different than the calories Ashley needs to lose 20 pounds. The calories that Vanessa needs to gain lean muscle is going to be the different calories that I need to gain lean muscle. All right. So everybody is different. Everybody's body is different. All right. So everybody has different height, different weight, different activity level, different lifestyle, different body composition, and different goals, right? Because you can put me next to another person who's 140 pounds and they have probably 6% body fat, and I have 15% body fat, even though it's the same number on the scale, the goals are going to be different, the macros are going to be different. And so this literally varies for person to person, and this is why it's important for you to eat towards your specific goal as an individual versus as like, I just gonna eat 1200 calories because that's what I saw on TikTok. All right, super important. Everybody has different height, weight, activity level, lifestyle, goals, body composition, um fitness level. So all of these things matter in order for you to get the best results possible and be able to maximize those results without feeling like you're hating your life. All right, so that's gonna like give you a better percentage of a chance to do better and get better results. Okay, thing number two. All right, it ensures that you're working smart and with a plan, not just eating healthy or winging it. Again, similar to last week's training. All right, you have to ensure, guys, that you're playing smart. All right, when we decide to make a change in our life, when we decide that we want better, that we want to feel better, that we want to look good and feel good and all that stuff, you winging it and doing the same thing you were doing before is not going to get you to a different place, right? If that was the case, you would have been there a long time ago. So you have to work with a plan. This gives you a target, and this allows you to make sure that you're planning ahead of time and you're planning for success. We have a saying in our community that says results don't happen by accident. And so when we have goals, when we have macros, this helps us kind of like, work towards that specific plan, and we're not just winging it. Like, no, we know for a fact we are in a deficit. We know for a fact that we're hitting that protein. We know for a fact that we are hitting the fiber for the day. And so it's a plan versus just winging it. Okay. Reason number three, your body needs specific amount of calories to either gain, maintain, or lose weight. All right. If you're trying to lose 20 pounds, you have to be in a calorie deficit, but you don't know what the calorie deficit is, right? And if you don't, if the term calorie deficit sounds a little weird to you, or you're like, what the fuck is that? A calorie deficit, guys, is just eating less, is eating less than what your body needs. All right. So let's say that you usually burn 2,000 calories per day. If you eat 15, you're in a calorie deficit. All right. 1,500, not 15. All right. So your body needs a specific amount. And when we give the body that specific amount, it's going to help us get to our goals a lot faster and more efficiently, right? It's like you can lose 20 pounds in a year, or you can lose 20 pounds in 4 to 6 months. Which one would you rather have? I'd rather get my results as soon as possible, especially if that means I don't have to give up the foods that I love. Okay. So that's a huge reason why we track macros. All right. It also, right, and some of my clients, some of you like Vanessa, you should be ready for this not too far from now. It's going to help you make adjustments, right? And help you maximize those results in different phases. Who here thinks that they got to lose 20 pounds and that's the end of it, and you reach your goal and you're going to be happy and that's happily ever after? Let me break the news to you, sis. You're going to want more results after. Especially if you're trying to tone up, especially if you're trying to gain the booty. So your body needs to go through different phases. It's not like, okay, I lost to 20 pounds and that's it. 99% of the people, some people lose 20, 50 pounds or whatever it is that their goal is, and they're okay with it, they're happy with it, and they just maintain it, and that's fine. If that's you, yes, good for you, congratulations. But for most of us, we want to look better, we want to improve, we want the bigger booty, we want the bigger legs, we want to look toner, we want to look tighter. And so most 99.9% of the time, you're not going to achieve your dream body in 1 year, right? Or 6 months. And so your body needs to go through different phases in order to get better and truly have that transformation over time. All right. And not only that, your body can't and shouldn't be in a calorie deficit for too long. And that's a story for a different day. But you can't eat 1,500 calories or 1,200 calories for the rest of your life. You can ruin your metabolism. You can gain the weight back. And it's not a fun place to be. So when we know what we're eating and roughly how many calories we have, it's going to help us maximize those results. Okay. Cool. Next is we helps us identify any patterns, right? As in, like, sometimes we have certain, everybody here has patterns. Everybody here has habits, right? Whether they're good habits or bad habits, good patterns or bad patterns, but this helps us identify patterns. So for example, if you are usually, like, let's say you have to hit 1,600 calories, you have your day tracked, you're good to go, but then you go food shopping without eating, and so you catch yourself getting some chips, getting some, I don't know, some soda, getting random things, getting, things that you don't really need. That's a pattern. So this is can give you like a light bulb moment, like, oh no, I cannot go grocery shopping when I'm hungry because I end up picking on food, right? Or a pattern of like, let's say you're cooking for your family or your kids and you're like having a spoonful of rice and then beans and then tasting the chicken, and just like that you're eating a lot more. So it can make you aware of like, holy shit, I'm grazing. Who here is familiar with the term grazing? I wasn't not too long ago. Do you guys know what grazing is? This is the most underrated way to not be in a calorie deficit, to like really just not see results. Grazing. That means that you're picking throughout the day, even if you don't know it. You're picking on nuts, you're picking on seeds, you're picking on your kids' foods as you're cooking, when you go grocery shopping, as you're passing by, at work, and maybe they have some candy. And in your mind, you're like, it's just a little bit, it's just a little bit. But that little bit can literally add up to 200 to 300 calories extra per day. All right. Per day. That's a lot. Okay. Cool. Next, it keeps you accountable, right? It makes you make better decisions. It makes you think twice. So I've had a lot of clients that when they started with me, they had no clue about calories, and they weren't aware of the habits that they had and how many calories it had, the things that they were eating on a daily basis. And this is for you if you're a Starbucks lady, if you're like a Starbucks like baddie. All right. So for example, right now the coffee that you're getting on a daily basis um could literally be 400 calories and you don't even know it. So when you are aware of what calories are, what macros are, it makes you think twice, because you're like, holy shit, I have only 1600 calories in my bank account, like in my calorie bank account, right? If I spend 400 to 600 calories on a coffee that's not gonna get me full, that I'm gonna want to be hungry later, it's gonna make you think twice. You're like, I don't have that much calories for that, and so I'm gonna have a different coffee that has 100 calories instead. And so it allows you to make better choices. Other things, like when you go grocery shopping, instead of getting, not that you cannot have bread, of course you can have bread, but like, let's say you're getting usually a bread that has 200 calories per slice, and you're having two slices plus the eggs plus the cheese, and it's easily like a 700 calorie meal, right? It makes you think twice, and you're like now looking at nutrition labels like, holy shit, let me find a lower calorie bread. Boom, you find one that has 45 calories per slice, and so you can eat three slices versus just two that has 400 calories. You know what I mean? So it makes you think twice about what you're eating, in a sense of like making better choices as well that align with your goal. All right. Again, this one's super important. It makes you aware of how much you really are eating. And I'm going to say something that might trigger you, but I have to say it because that's why you guys are here. Who here thinks they're not losing weight because they're not eating? I'm not. My problem is that I just don't eat. I'm gaining weight because I'm not eating. Who here has said that before or thinks that's the problem? I'm here to give you the harsh truth. That is not the problem. That is not the problem. I want you guys to think of kids in Africa, right? Do you guys think that they are skinny, right? Or that they gain weight because they're starving? Like, this whole starvation thing, it doesn't exist. It's a made up shit, all right? You're not gaining weight because you're not eating. You're probably gaining the weight because you don't really know how much you're eating. You think, and again, this goes back to the grazing. This goes back to like you um being more mindful and aware of things, right? So this might be you are consuming all of your calories on alcohol over the weekend, on coffees, on high calorie, convenience food like Chipotle, like Burger King. And you're like, yeah, but I only eat once a day. Do you know what a burger and fries and the soda that you take? Yeah, it's one meal a day, but that's just probably 1,400 calories plus the coffee, plus the nuts and random shit that you eat throughout the day. Okay, so it makes you aware of how much you really are eating. Okay, so this is why it's important. It's kind of like pulling your bank statements. There, it's facts. It's just we cannot change it. It is what it is. So it's kind of like having proof in front of your face. All right, it's receipts. Calories are receipts. Do you know how much you're eating? Yes or no? If you don't know, This is the first place to start. Okay. Next, it helps you create lifelong habits. And I'm gonna say this before you guys start freaking out on me. No, you will not have to track for the rest of your life. This is just to help you build habits, to help you be more aware, and to help you understand and get educated on the subject. There are periods of my life, like I didn't track for maybe 4 to 6 months, but guess what, I wasn't freaking out and I wasn't gaining body fat excessively, right? Because I know what 2000 calories looks like. I know I can look at a banana and I can tell you roughly how much it weighs and how many calories it has. Why? Because I paid my dues and I got it done and I understood and I went through the learning phase of tracking and weighing my food. All right. So all of this might sound like tracking is so tedious and so overwhelming, blah, 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 blah. But you know how much time you're wasting by just guessing? Do you know how much time you're wasting by just hoping you get results? Do you know how much time you're wasting? You might as well spend 10, 15 minutes a day to learn about calories and macros, or pre-plan your food diary to make sure you're in a calorie deficit, versus keep going and going and going, just literally hoping for results. All right. So I'm going to challenge your mindset on that. Okay. Now, that was a lot. Before we continue, who here is getting value? Let me know if this is helpful. Or maybe I'm like, I said something, you're like, holy shit, that's me. Guys, my throat is kind of dry. These allergies are no joke. Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. There's 6 of you here. There's 8 of you guys over there. I need to know. I need to know if this is valuable so far and if this is helpful, or if this is kind of like, holy shit, this is a light bulb moment. If you get out of this training and you learned at least one new thing, or it made you aware of something, then I did my freaking job and I'm here for it. All right, cool. Ashley said very helpful. Guys, don't be shy. Please let me know if this is helpful or if this is something you're learning something new here. Remember what I said. I like activity in my lives. All right. Cool. Let's continue. What to focus on? Oops, where's my presentation? Where to go? Okay, cool. What to focus on? I know you guys are thinking like, holy shit, I have to track my calories, my macros, my protein, my carbs, my fats, my sugar, my salt, my sodium. Oh, how overwhelming is that? From somebody who has never tracked anything in your life, or you've tried before and you quit because it was so overwhelming. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't need to do all of that. Is it helpful? Yes. Do we have to do it? No. All right, so here's how we're going to cut shit in half, probably more than half. All right, we're going to do a couple things. Number 1, right, we're just going to focus on 2 things, and that's going to be your calories and your protein. All right, and I'll tell you why those 2 are important things. Okay, now those are all important things. Like I said, carbs, fats, proteins, fiber, all of those things are good to know and to track, but you'll get there. There's different levels to this, and we're going to start you off at like level 1 so you don't get overwhelmed, and then we're going to build from there. Okay, so again, those are all important, but there's levels, and I don't want you to feel super frustrated and then want to quit. Okay. So why calories? Because calories is important to know if you're in a calorie deficit or not. All right. The calories determine if you are in a deficit, a surplus, or maintenance. Okay. So this is the very first number that I want you to focus on. That's the very first number. Now, the calories is going to maintain whether you lose weight, you gain weight, you maintain your weight. That's what calories are. The second thing that we're going to focus on is going to be the protein. Now, the protein is to build muscle, you burn more calories, and it's going to help you feel full for longer. Okay, so protein is the building blocks, and it's the key to building muscle and overall body composition. If you have no muscle, you're not going to get toned. I'm going to say that again. If you don't have muscle, you are not going to get toned. Okay, you can lose weight and still not look toned, which is exactly what happened to me. Okay, You can change the number on the scale and still have no physique that you're happy, not a physique that you're happy with. That happened to me. I was so focused on just lowering the number on the scale, just focusing on calories, that I didn't focus on building muscle. Okay. So that's why those two things are going to be the most important: your calories to determine that you lose body fat, and then protein to determine that you build muscle, you burn body fat, and you are gaining muscle. Okay. Those two things put together are literally the only two things you need, at least to start off with. Okay. Protein, fats, carbs, fiber, and all that stuff matters, but you can go more in depth with that. The more you get kind of like, the more you master this. Once you master calories and protein, you can start adding other shit to it. But those are the two things that I want you to focus on. Okay. Now we're almost done, guys. Now I want to show you a great example here for one of my clients, two of my clients. All right. Both of these amazing clients were both eating healthy. They were both working out 5 to 6 times per week. They were both eating salads, protein shakes. They looked amazing. And look at her body right here. She looks great, right? It's not like she's like, super big, or she has a ton of body fat to lose or anything crazy. Same here. Right? Same with my client Lex here. All right, let me see if I can zoom in here. There we go. Can we agree that they both look great, right? This is actually goals for a lot of ladies right here. All right. Can we agree that they both look great before, but they were not happy with the results? Okay. They were putting in all of this hard work, yet they weren't getting the return of it. They didn't really have anything impressive to like really say, I work out, right? They were focusing solely on eating healthy and working out. And guys, like I say all the time, that's a start and it'll get you started. But if you want to actually change your shape, if you want to gain muscle, if you want to look toned and tight and reduce those inches on your waist and get rid of the back fat, of the bra fat, of your legs, whatever your goal is, you need to understand calories and macros. It'll help you get there a lot faster, more efficiently, and with eating the foods that you love. All right. So this is them now, both of them, which they're both current clients still. This is her after, I think it was like her 13, 14 weeks. That's only 14 weeks, right? Only 14 weeks. This is about like 16 weeks or so. Right here. Look how shredded she looks. Look, it looks now her waist has shrunk significantly. Both of them. Look at that waist. Look at that freaking waist. Can we like appreciate that? The difference of eating healthy to working out to like getting good results. Because let's face it, she looks great. Look at her body. She's shapy. She's curvy. She's beautiful. But she wanted more. She wanted a smaller waist. She wanted to tone up. And look at her now. Okay. So this is the difference between eating healthy and working out. Okay. So this is why we want to make sure that you're not just eating healthy and working out. You are literally training, which is another training that I did in another Facebook. And then also, again, like I said, making sure that you maximize your results. Okay. So now we get to the good stuff. Tools you need. All right. Tools you need. You need a food tracking app. I recommend MyFitnessPal app. It's free. You need to track your food, right? It makes things a little bit easier. You need to track your food cooked and measure it cooked. Get a digital food scale. All right. You can literally find a digital food scale in Walmart for $10. Skip the Starbucks and the bagel for a day and go invest your money in something useful that's going to help you achieve your goals. All right. Digital food scale. Measuring cups you can get at any Dollar Tree for $1.25 now. Not $1, but $1.25. This can get you started, but the most important tool is digital food scale and my MyFitnessPal app. Those two things are the only things you really need right now. All right. You don't even need the measuring cups if you have a food scale. All right. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what are my macros? What the hell am I? What are my macros? How do I get my macros? Okay. So there's a couple of different ways to do it. All right. Information is everywhere when we look for it, right? So you can go on Google and type calorie calculator online, enter your stats. It's going to tell you to enter your height, your weight, your sex, your height, weight, sex, activity level. I think that's it. All right. And it's going to calculate it for you. You tell, like, it's going to say what's your goal to gain weight, maintain weight, whatever. And it's going to give it to you. Now, disclaimer with that, those calorie calculators are not as accurate because they don't know your background information and they're very generic, but it's a start. Okay. um super simple way to do it is take your goal weight and multiply it by 12 or 13 depending on your activity level. So if you're super active, choose 13. If you're not, then I would choose 12. So let's say your goal is 150 pounds. You would put 150 pounds times 12, and you would have to eat 1,800 calories a day to be in a calorie deficit. And you have to be in a calorie deficit for a while. All right. It's not going to happen in 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It needs to commit to this for at least 16 weeks. Okay. And that's just a starting point. Again, these are not personalized. These are just kind of like general rules. Okay. Now that's to get your calories, right? To get your protein, same thing. You will take your goal weight and you will times it by 1. So by 1 or 0.8. So 150 times 0.8, that will be 120 grams of protein per day. So if your goal is to hit 150 pounds while maintaining lean muscle and recomposition and all that stuff, your calories will be 1,800 and your protein goal will be anywhere between 120 and 150. That's your goal. All right. That's another way you can get your calories and macros. Okay. A third way is to track your food for a week and get the average and then deduct anywhere between 300 to 500 calories. And for the protein is the same exact thing. You would do your goal weight and then you would do anywhere between 0.8 to 1 pound of your goal weight, right? And it'll give you the protein. All right. Now, this tracking your food for a week is one of my favorites. This is honestly the top favorite one for me because it's going to give you more of an accurate feel of what you're already eating. And we can kind of work from there. And then lastly, guys, hire someone with experience. All right. Hire someone with experience. Oh my God, this was a bad typo. Hire someone with experience. All right. Sometimes we overthink everything, that we overlook that sometimes the answer is for somebody to help us. And hire a mentor or a coach or somebody that can really help you get the guesswork out and teach you. Don't be cheap with yourself. Don't be cheap with yourself. I promise you, most of you guys are spending $200 a month in junk food, in drinking, in ordering out, in random shit. Like, reinvest that money in yourself. All right. Right now, what's happening, and trust me, I've been in that situation where we don't think we can do it, but like literally, if you sit down, how many times do you order a salad? How many times do you order Chipotle? You get sodas, you get gum, you get energy drinks, you get coffees, you get bagels. All of those things add up to easily anywhere between $200 to $300 per month or more. All right. One time I sat down and I spent like almost $150 in coffees, just in daily coffees. I cut that shit down, right? Because I needed to pay my coach. So get somebody if you really want to, and if you're serious about it as well. All right. So here's a pro tips. Once you start learning how to track your food, make a meal plan, right? Make a meal plan and just pre-track everything. Make sure that you are making a plan for your full day of eating. Make sure that you're buying groceries that you're gonna need only. Stop buying random snacks throughout the day. If you have kids, I know that's kind of hard to do because I know you buy your kids snacks. So in that case, buy them the little, single snack. So instead of getting like a big bag of chips, where it's easy for everybody to just, pick on, buy like the individual bag of little chips. And if you happen to like get cravings, get one. and scan it and put it in the app and just hold yourself accountable for it. Okay. Plan ahead of time and take 10 minutes every day to enter everything in your app the day before, down to the snacks, down to what you're going to eat and drink, and then follow that and that only. This is a huge pro tip right here that you guys will probably see me talk about my stories literally almost every day. Stick to the same food for 2 to 3 days. Stop switching so much. You don't need to eat a different breakfast every day. You don't need to eat a different lunch and dinner every day. You don't need to have a different snack every day. It's okay to switch it now and then, but like for the most part, stick to the same thing. And again, this is just a temporary thing. This is just a temporary process. um in the meantime, you understand, because this is gonna we need to understand that we need to do things that are gonna make things easier, not harder. All right, so when we're constantly tracking a different breakfast every day, thinking about what we're gonna have for dinner every single day, it's just gonna add so much frustration. Just have stick to the same foods. All right, if you get bored, switch it up, maybe by one or two things. The majority should stay the same. So maybe you've been having I don't know, chicken, rice, and beans, and you got sick of that, then have ground turkey, potatoes, and a side salad. Or you can have turkey, potatoes, and rice, or you can have pasta, um ground beef, and veggies. You know what I mean? So switch up maybe one or two things, but not everything. All right, cool. Overall goal is to educate yourself. All right, meet your calories first and protein. Stay consistent every day. This includes the weekend. This is not like, oh my god, this is only gonna work Monday through Friday. No, if you stop tracking on the weekends, that's probably why you're gonna be the same. All right, take ownership. If you have the cookie, track the cookie. If you have the chips, track the chips. All right, do your best and know that this takes time. Okay, understand please that this takes time. This is not something that you're going to get down packed in 2 weeks. This is going to take some time to do. All right. So, that being said, ladies, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you guys can drop them here in the chat, actually in the comments, because I have to run. I have another call. But I hope that this was helpful and you learned something new. So let me know your biggest takeaway, and let me know if you would like to see more trainings of this. I know a couple of you guys obviously had to go as well. This actually was a little longer than I expected. I was planning to do like 20 minutes only, but I like to chat with you guys and give you more in depth, because sometimes we hear the word calorie deficit, macros, and all this. Don't know why are we doing this in the first place. So when we understand the why behind it, we're more likely to actually do it, because we understand the why. All right, so again, if this was helpful, let me know your biggest takeaway, hashtag replay, and let me know your biggest takeaway of this training. And guys, go put it to action. The replay is going to be there, so put it to action right now. Stop overthinking it, stop being perfect, and start getting curious. Go on YouTube, go on TikTok, how to track macros, tracking tips, blah, 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 blah. On my story, I show you guys meals all the time. So the information is there. Now it's your responsibility to take action on it. All right. Like once we learn something and we choose not to do it, that is a choice you're making to not do it. You're choosing to stay the same. All right. But if you're in this group, I know that you want better. You want to better yourself. You want to do better. And you know that you're made for more. All right. So again, hashtag replay. Let me know your biggest takeaway, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right. Bye.